Hey, what's going on guys? Broken Machine here. Recently I got a sneaky quick look at the final 5 specialists coming to Battlefield 2042 and all the stuff DICE learned from the beta.
Tango down!
Reporting for duty.
Navin Rao, Recon Class, Specialty Cyber Warfare Suite, Hack Enemy Equipment and In-World Objects. Trait Trojan Network. Killing a hacked target reveals enemies around them.
Give me a second! Program online!
Alright, let's do this.
Dozer, Assault Class. Specialty is the SOB-8 ballistic shield, protecting from incoming projectiles. Trait, Blast Resistant. Take less harm and recover faster from explosive damage.
Open a way through! Let's make some trouble.
Sundance, Assault Class. Wingsuit has her trait and Smart Explosives as her specialty. Anti-armor, EMP, and scatter grenades.
Tango down! Aplicado pour toi!
Jisoo Paik, Recon Class. EMG X scanner is her specialty, revealing an electromagnetic overlay of hostiles behind cover. And threat perception for trait, automatically spotting enemies who deal damage to you.
EMG active!
I'm ready if you are.
Angel, Support Class. Specialty Loadout Crate and Trauma Specialist Trait. Revive allies rapidly and restore their armor. Now, how does that change up your mind about these specialists? You've got a hacker there that could be incredibly useful. Dozer the tank essentially taking on explosives and helping a squad push with the shield could lead to some amazing team plays. Sundance's wingsuit could prove epic for some nasty swift flanks, and those grenades against vehicles will be huge. I do have concerns with revealing enemies with Jisoo's traits, and Angel could be crazy good for locking down objectives. I'm not too sure about spotting enemies automatically with those things, but I could live with it. It seems the full diversity of gameplay potential here is starting to show a little more than what we saw in the beta with the limited amount of specialists. Awesome news for controller users as well. Aim assist will be altered to feel more like previous titles. A quick look at the attachment system here on the M5A3. Each selection with its own positives and negatives. Anything assigned into slot 1 is your spawn setup, allowing you to drop straight into battle with your best loadout right from the start. Really nice, clean and simple layout here. I'm really liking this. This is what the updated introduction to a round will look like.
Time to show these folks what's right. Let's give her.
Intelligence has revealed that amid satellite relaunches, the US is placing a prototype weapon into orbit. The launch site is here in French Guiana. Your mission is to breach the facility and do whatever it takes to prevent the Americans from occupying it. I won't lie, you can expect resistance as the Americans dig in, but this wouldn't be a first for you, would it?
More immersive I feel with that, and they've added a little more shine to the end of a round by paying tribute to the best squad players and recognizing contributions players made to capturing objectives, revives, and providing ammo.
Come on. This is too easy.
A good day's work, but a much
All positive additions there in my book. Definitely looking forward to how these introductions play out on the other maps. That is the PP-29 there. I'm not sure what's going on with those flares. Is that date important? Is there anything inside that vehicle they're not showing fully? Probably. I'm loving the vehicle block with that hack there. That's the MP9 and those colors look wonderful. That outfit looks sick. Those are tattoos and there's no tattoos. Piercings and no piercings. Perhaps new skins and customizations. Machines move. You see all that verticality. I told you in one of my recent videos. I knew there was going to be lots of that. That's the new 12M Auto.
Tango down!
That light can be taken out as I guess months ago. So that's going to affect the visibility on that map there. The cranes are moving as seen here. That is a different outfit and that's a quick rest. He's using the AC-42 as well there. That quick loadout change there is pretty sick. Definitely some BR feels about that one. And that massive wall going across the map there is totally giving me Caspian border vibes. The clean layout carries on here with the Commorose, looking much easier to select the action you wish and not distract you from the battle. With the addition of this Commorose, the ping system and the big map, squad play and teamwork should feel a little more polished when the full game arrives. The beta was more of a sandbox than what you experience upon first playing the game. Loadouts here were more for testing the behavior of gadgets in a live environment. Expect to be working with a reduced selection of gadgets for the first 4 to 6 hours in the full game, the devs say. As you go up the ranks, new ones will slowly be added to your loadouts. The traditional experience of a Battlefield game where classes fulfill traditional roles, they say, is something you graduate out of through the first 10 levels. Specialists will initially have the option to choose from a medical crate, ammo, the M5 launcher and repair tool as starting gadgets, enabling players to engage in more supporting roles as they please. Beyond those levels, you'll have access to more specialized hardware and specialists to help solve scenarios you encounter. They say expect to be interacting with your loadouts on the deploy screen regularly in order to ensure you're prepared for the ever-changing nature of conquest and breakthrough gameplay. That is definitely something I did begin to notice in the beta. While the grappling hook was fun at first, there was times where Boris's turret gun seemed a more appropriate choice as the match unfolded and clearer front lines came about. With the addition of these new specialists, I could definitely see further scenarios where changing up will be a wise choice. Changes are coming to health regeneration. They're slowing down the time it takes for the healing effect to start and increasing your need to work with medics and thus making them more useful. Maria Falk's Surret pistol has received enhancements and tweaks to improve the feedback received upon successfully healing an ally. And they've made it easier to land a syringe on a friend by having these syringes magnetized to friendly targets. And in other good news, revives are much faster than before. Hopefully with these changes we'll see more medics being a more effective role than what we saw in the beta. Also, they've increased the number of tanks that you'll experience on Orbital. It's up from 4 to 8 on PC, Xbox Series X, S, and PlayStation 5. They've made changes to the movement, adding strafe input to sliding, adding the ability to vault on moving objects, and toning down jump spamming. All good changes there in my book. I'm hoping for some good changes here to reduce the spammy movements as well. That kind of made the game look a little ridiculous at times. For those who just died to grenades all the time, thankfully there's going to be a nearby grenade indicator in the final game. Thank you very much, DICE. Those grenades do need to be toned down, I feel, to at least 1 per player at most. Entry and exit animations are now shorter, with some being removed entirely. Happy news for some. Personally, I could live with the animations, but I do understand why people don't like them. And elevators have been fixed so that you see less funky behaviors with doors too. Visibility is also being improved upon. They say that IFF lighting is in the process of being further enhanced to enable enemies to more readily stand out on the battlefield. The tint applied to enemy soldiers is being adjusted and UI changes are being made so that when you're inside of 10 meters, an icon is now present above the heads of enemy soldiers, provided they wouldn't be otherwise occluded by any terrain or map objects. Friendly icons are being worked on too, to no longer be occluded through walls within 40 meters, to address instances of their systems failing to represent a player as a friendly teammate before they've entered your field of view. This was definitely something I saw a lot of in the beta, and there's many clips out there of me shooting at teammates. Some of these changes will be live on early access on the 12th of November, with more coming on worldwide release a week later. You'll notice the UI has been improved throughout the clips here. The kill log personally would go top right, but I can live with that. I'm loving the compass being shown at all times here at the bottom, and overall I've got to say I'm pretty happy with these subtle changes here. A clearer overview of the controls can be seen, and DICE are working on improving mapping in the final options. This was definitely an issue with the Hellas, and I hope they've sorted those out, as for the whole beta, I was unable to copy my control schemes from previous games and fly the Hellas as I wished. Also, improving on the controllers, they are including total controller mapping. I'll be covering the best controller settings guides, so be sure to hit that notification if you want those on release. Text chat will be available on all platforms, and VoIP will be coming in after launch. Cross-platform invites were absent from the beta, and they will arrive for release. Can't wait to see how all of these new specialists play out, and which people tend to go for. Having heard some of the concerns with the original set of specialists, how are you guys feeling about these, and the changes we've heard about so far? Honestly, really looking forward to trying out that wingsuit. That looks really cool, and the aggressive gameplay possibilities with that. I'm not too sure about the scanner revealing hostiles behind cover. I do hope there are many counters to this available in the game. That could be a problem. The cooldown on that thing has to be sufficient enough. Otherwise, there could be obvious issues going forward, particularly when it comes to playing the objective. The devs actually say they see specialists as the next evolution of the classic Battlefield class system that will not only enable individual players to have a bigger impact, it will also elevate teams that cooperate to newer heights. I have to say, I do kind of like this approach. There is some concerns with the specialists overall, but I like the fact that they're trying new things and trying to get the team to play in different ways. As much as I love previous games, there is some areas where the teamwork is lacking in places, and some of these traits, specialties, the specialists themselves, I feel like there is some positives to the way that they could handle playing the objective. I've got more about that I want to talk later on in a new video, but I can see what they're doing here, and honestly, I'm kind of excited. Along with the numerous improvements to the UI, easier identification of enemies and friendly, working ping system and Commorose and communications, you'll get to experience more of how all these specialists come together and have a clearer idea of what works best for you when the full game arrives, and for your team, and in what situations. There really could be some really good replay value here. The UI is of course a big part of that experience, and the beta wasn't fully representative of the final game. It's very obvious in some of these clips it's been heavily improved upon. One example, the big map, a vital component for teamwork, is now back in the game. Now with that up, you can see what objectives are being taken much more easily and where you might want to go on the map. Score events now sit beneath the crosshair like the more traditional kill confirmed dialogue, showing easily and quickly whom you've killed, healed, helped, and the rewards for doing so. Multiple scoring events related to transport assists, spawns, resupplies, and heals were absent in the beta, and they will arrive with launch. The kill log or the kill feed is certainly more readable. Again, I would prefer it top right, but it's clean and it's nice there, and it's not distracting from the crosshair and the action ahead, which is most important. The kill log is certainly more readable here. Again, I would prefer it in the top right, but it's clean, it's nice there, it's not distracting from the crosshair too much or the action ahead. I could live with that. They've also completed additional work on colorblind settings, and the critical alert messaging at the top of the screen has further been worked upon. They've also reduced the number of events shown and its size, so it should be less distracting. The beta build we were playing was a much older build of the game compared to what they're playing, testing, and improving upon every day across their studios, they say. In order for a beta to go ahead, they do something they call branching. This is where they identify the most stable build and split it off from the active daily branches that receive daily check-ins, new content, and bug fixes. This build was actually from August. Branching takes out all the content, mechanics, and unnecessary systems that are still under testing. So we're not seeing in the beta all the additional work that may have gone ahead since August. We're getting only a taste of what the experience is like. For many, AI was definitely a concern. DICE have actually noticed bot-heavy servers were too prevalent across the first few hours for many players. Games weren't being successfully backfilled, and players were left fighting against bots. This is definitely something I experienced myself. They say they've designed bots as a good way for new players to learn how to play Battlefield, and to provide new options for veterans of the franchise to take new players under their wing and teach them to PTFO. They are not designed as a replacement. With the beta, they were able to see the issues present here and make changes in real time to ensure servers were filled with the majority of human players and appropriate backfilling was happening when expected. There are a few more fixes here and there for issues relating to plus menus not working, but that was mostly the gist of it all. The beta was a test for many things: the specialists, the backend, the improvements made from the learnings from the August technical tests, and much more. Honestly, I'm excited for the game and what is coming next. Obviously, I've got some issues here and there, but for the most part, I'm kind of excited about 2042. It's a new Battlefield game, it's Battlefield, and, you know, it looks pretty good. I enjoyed the beta. You know, it's not perfect. It's and no beta in Battlefield has ever been perfect, but I think the game is actually looking quite promising. If you want to hear more about my opinion on that, do click the channel and check out my videos. Anyway, over the next few weeks, I'm sure we will be hearing from the team a little more. I do appreciate you guys checking out this video. Drop a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys soon. Take it easy, guys. Catch you later.